First, let me start with a question. How many of you here who have your dream, but you don't know how to start or you don't know how to achieve your dream? I actually one of that too. And do you believe if I tell you that I can achieve my dream with just a step out of my comfort zone? So today, it's my great honor for me to be here, and I want to take you all on a journey of transform myself from a girl who lived in the rural area in Kampong Cham province to me today. And hopefully it can be inspire all of you to step out of your comfort zone as well. So first, let's define the word comfort zone. What is comfort zone? For me, I define comfort zone as a place or as a situation where you feel safe or comfortable with that. It can be your routine, like you don't feel stress or anxiety of doing all that activity. So for my comfort zone, back to the last 3 years, my comfort zone is just like go to school and study, like study from the teacher, study hard, study smart, and then get number one, get top one in school. And that is my achievement. Like I can count as my success in high school. Like as a high school kid, this is my comfort zone. Nothing else beside that. Then I just realized myself that if I continue to focus on my academic, then nothing to be grow beside my academic. I just be the number one in class or in my school. Nothing else beside that. So I know that I need to step out of my comfort zone. So here, the story begins. In 2020, I have a big decision. I started to step out of my comfort zone to the growth zone. I accept that in comfort zone, we feel safe, we feel comfortable of doing that. But there's no growth in that zone. And moving to the growth zone, we can be grow, it can be develop ourselves, but we might don't feel safe or we might don't feel comfortable in that growth zone. But we need to develop ourselves. So here's my story. Do you know who is me in 2020? In 2020, back to the last 3 years, I'm just a normal girl who live in the rural area. So in that years, I don't have any confidence. I don't have a lot of connections, and also I am one of the introvert person. I'm also the other, like many people, I'm afraid of being failure. Like when people ask me to join the competition or to join the event, I might feel that, oh, like if I join that competition, what if I fail? So about like my fame or embarrassment, something like that. And also I feel shy and just want to stay in my comfort zone. I don't want to leave it. I don't want to face all of the challenges. But then I realized myself that everything has to be start from the first step. If we don't dare ourselves to step out of that comfort zone, if we don't move ourselves, if we don't start to do anything from that first step, how can we achieve your dream? So then I asked myself, why don't I just try it first? Like, why don't I just give myself a try? Try to complete my dream, try to find my own self, who I want to be and where I want to be. So here is my journey in the 3 years that I go to explore myself in the growth zone. So I challenge myself every day. I give myself a challenge. I join competition. I start to join program, events, and now can say 100 plus event. Not only in education, not only in technology competition, but I join different field, environment field, health field, like all the field, just to explore who I am, what I want to be. And also I start to go in abroad. In 2022, I was selected to join a program, exchange program to the US, and that is the moment that opened my eye to the world. I can learn new things from the people adapt living without my parents for 3 weeks in the US and learn about culture, learn about language. I imagine a girl who just live in the rural area and then move to the US, don't know anyone in there, and then she have to be adapt to the environment. She has to be face all the challenge, imposter syndrome, a lot. And then she also learn a lot of things behind that. And I also try to make a new connection every day. I know that myself, like I'm an introvert person, but I also have to be adapt through a situation. So I try to make a new connection with different people that I met, and then I learn from all of that people. And I also try new things. the new thing that I never tried before, even though I know that if I try that thing, I might face a lot of challenge and I might feel uncomfortable of doing it. But one thing I always tell myself is that it's a life-changing experience. So I have to tell myself to do all of that thing to change my life if I want to make my life a better version of myself. And then this is the thing. All of that 3 years experience in all of that technology, business stuff and stuff, I face a lot of challenges. And all of that challenges, I'm assume that everyone else that they step outside of the academic and they join a lot of that extracurricular activity, they may face all of that as well. It's about fear. It's about mental health. I accept that I got a lot of mental health problem, mental health issue when I start to do all the things that I never do. Sometimes I question myself, why I have to do all of that? Why don't I just like spend my time as the other friend in school? Just go to school, just learn, get number one, or enjoy movie at home, doing homework, and that's all. Why I need to work until 12 or 1 midnight to just like submit all the assignment and doing all that business proposal, doing the thing that is not in my age? Like why I have to do all of that? And then sometimes I don't have any support beside all of that activity. I have to do it alone. And I have to research by myself, took a lot of research. And I also, sometimes I have a self-comparison. I compare myself with my senior, with my friend who join the same competition or who do the same activity. And then I question myself, why they are so good? Like, why they can do that, they can win that, and I just like failed that competition. So sometimes I also question myself, like lead to the self-comparison as well. And also failure. I know that everyone, when they go into my social media, they saw a lot of achievement, they saw a lot of congratulations on the comment section, but they don't know the failure behind the scene. Like, because this society teach us to show only our achievement, to show only our happiness. No one gonna post that, hey, today I failed this competition. No, we just post that today I win that, I was selected to this program, something like that. So people, they don't know the behind the scene, they don't know the background. But beside that, I also get a lot of failure. I went selected to a lot of program before I was selected to join all that 100 program. So a lot of failure behind that. And sometimes I also don't have any motivation to move on. And sometimes I just want to give up. I remember that time I was sitting in the bus, and that like I got 3 programs to join, 3 competition at the same time. I imagine how can I manage my time? The business competition, the technology competition, and the examination coming soon. Like how can I manage all of that thing at the same time? So sometimes I just want to give up all of that and live the life that my friend live every day. Enjoy the life as a high school kid. Because like a lot of my seniors, they said that, hey Ming Huang, you should enjoy life as a high school kid. Like when you go into the university, you don't have any time to enjoy life in high school anymore. And why you have to like spend a lot of time joining all the program, go abroad, a lot of that country, like just enjoy your high school kid, and then when it's time, you can do all of that. But I just choose a different way. So when I face all of that challenge, one thing that I always tell myself is that this is a part of growing up. If I want to give it up, I have to tell myself that, hey, it's just a part of growing up. If I face all of that challenge, if I got all of that thing, all of that barrier, it means that I'm growing up. If I just like live, enjoy my life without any trouble, it means that I just live in my comfort zone. It's not the zone that I can be grow. So I just tell myself that, okay, you're growing up right now. So you have to face that. You have to find a way out. Because I always remember that if I got a problem, there's also a way out. There's also a solution to that problem. So I try to make it happen. If no one motivates you, why don't you just motivate yourself? As you know that yourself is the important person who can push yourself up and give impact on your life. You try your own life, so just motivate yourself. And then if I don't know anything about that skill, just go to YouTube, just go to a lot of resources on internet and learn that new skill. For example, when I start my journey in technology, Many of you may know myself as a coder, like I create application mobile app using Java, something like that. But remember, my first step, I also don't have any teacher to teach me that. I just go to the internet and learn all of that by myself. I took like 10 hours a day. So, all right. So I took a lot of hours. I remember that during COVID-19, and I take that COVID-19 as the opportunity for me to learn new things and to step out of my comfort zone. I learned of that coding skill and I joined all that competition. And then I also find the support from my teacher, my senior, and I start to focus on myself. I start to accept the truth that we all start from a different point. We work in a different time, so don't stop compare yourself with the other. The other people, they might have a different background. They don't have the background like you. They don't have the time like you. So then just focus on yourself, focus on your process, and then move yourself just try to motivate yourself and find a way out. And also learn from all that failure. I know that feeling when you feel something and then you feel disappointed and live in the darkness. But then I try to learn from all that failure as the opportunity. So I learn why I failed that competition. What can I improve? What can I do in the next competition to win that? And then last but not least, just accept the truth. If you fail, accept that you fail. It is the truth. And people, they don't enjoy their life because they don't accept the truth that happened. So I learned a lot during these 3 years of exploring myself in my growth zone. Also, what I gained from stepping out of my comfort zone, I can say it's a 180 degree of a life-changing experience. I know who I am. All right, so when I was a kid, I was 6 years old. Do you know who I want to be? I want to be a doctor. I told my parents, hey mom, I want to be a doctor. But now, what I want to be a computer scientist. It is the biggest change. So I can know myself, I can know my dream jobs, and then I also can achieve my dream. I used to dream to go abroad at least one in my life. But now, it's not one. It's a 7 country I visit to. So, I don't expect. So I really don't expect that by stepping out of my comfort zone in that 3 years can lead me to achieve all of that dream and can be to that 7 country around the world. And also I can unlock my own potential. I can know what is my unique, and I can be on the international stage as well, be the panelist on the Asian regional meeting and the other international stage. So this is a very biggest change as a life in the rural area. So last but not least, one thing that I want to tell you is that you can change your life by just stepping out of your comfort zone. And remember that your life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Thank you so much.